Mandalakaram Yaptan Yena Characharam Tatpadam Darshitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Ajnanati Mirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Gurur Brahma Gurur Vishnu Gurur Devo Maheshwara Gurur Sakshat Param Brahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Stavaram Ranganam Yatam Yakichit Sacharacharam Tatpadam Darshitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Babaji Apiyat Sarvam Trilokyam Sacharacharam Tatpadam Darshitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Sarvashruti Shiroratna Virajita Padam Pujaha Vedantam Puja Suryoya Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Chaitanya Shashvata Shanto Vyomatito Niranjanaha Bindunada Kalatita Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Jnana Shakti Samaruda Tattva Mala Vibhushita Buddhi Mukti Pradata Cha Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Aneka Janma Samprapta Karma Bandha Vidayine Atma Jnana Pradanena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shoshanam Bhava Sindhosya Jnapanam Sara Sampada Guru Padodakam Samyat Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Na Guru Radhikam Tattvam Na Guru Radhikam Tapa Tattva Jnanat Param Nasti Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Manata Shri Jagannatha Madguru Shri Jagadguru Mamatma Sarva Bhutatma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Guru Raniranadisha Guru Paramadevatam Guru Parataram Nasti Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Tvameva Mata Cha Pita Tvameva Tvameva Bandhusha Sakha Tvameva Tvameva Vidya Dravinam Tvameva Tvameva Sarvam Mama Deva Deva Tvameva Mata Cha Pita Tvameva Tvameva Bandhusha Sakha Tvameva Tvameva Vidya Dravinam Tvameva Tvameva Sarvam Mama Deva Deva. Guru Guru Jai Jai Gopala Jai Jai Govinda Narayana Guru Guru Jai Jai Gopala Jai Jai Govinda Narayana Guru Guru Jai Jai Gopala Jai Jai Govinda Narayana Guru Guru Jai Jai Gopala Jai Jai Govinda Narayana Guru Guru Jai Jai Gopala Jai Jai Govinda Narayana Guru Guru Jai Jai Gopala Jai Jai Govinda Narayana Govinda Narayana Gopala Narayana Govinda Narayana Gopala Narayana Govinda Narayana, Gopala Narayana, Govinda Narayana, Gopala Narayana, Guru Guru Jai Jai Gopala Jai Jai Govinda Narayana, Guru Guru Jai Jai Gopala Jai Jai Govinda Narayana, Oh Guru Guru Jai Jai Gopala Jai Jai Govinda Narayana, Guru Guru Jai Jai Gopala Jai Jai Govinda Narayana, Govinda Narayana, Gopala 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 Narayana, Sadguru Deva Sri Swami Vishwananda Premavatara, 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 Premavatara, Sri Swami Vishwananda, Premavatara, Sri Swami Vishwananda, Premavatara, Sri Swami Vishwananda, Premavatara, Sri Swami Vishwananda, Oh Premavatara, Sri Swami Vishwananda, Premavatara, Sri Swami Vishwananda, Premavatara, Sri Swami Vishwananda, Premavatara, Sri Swami Vishwananda, Oh Sadguru Deva Sri Swami Vishwananda, Premavatara, 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 Sri Swami Vishwananda, Premavatara, Sri Swami Vishwananda, Premavatara, Sri Swami Vishwananda, Premavatara, Sri Swami Vishwananda, Guru Guru Jai Jai Gopala Jai Jai Govinda Narayana. Om Avatar Shishaya Namah, Om Vishamaya Namah, Om Devakarya Samudyataya Namah, Om Sukshmatanave Namah, Om Chinmayaya Namah, Om Guru Murtaye Namah, Om Sundaraya Namah, Om Sulochanaya Namah, Om Sumukaya Namah, Om Charvasaya Namah, Om Keshavaya Namah, Om Padambujaya Namah, Om Mandagamanaya Namah, Om Charambardhanine Namah, Om Brahmaya Namah, Om Mandirastapakaya Namah, Om Shri Bhutabhrteshwarnath Namah, Om Gayatri Ajvane Namah, Om Arpana Svikarakaya Namah, Om Vishnu Pujakaya Namah, Om Namo Narayana Yeti Mantrapasakaya Namah, Om Swaramayaya Namah, Om Madhurakantaya Namah, Om Krishna Sankirtana Lulupaya Namah, Om Stotra Priyaya Namah, Om Mitapashine Namah, Om Vakmine Namah, Om Chitrakala Visharadaya Namah, Om Vratadaraya Namah, Om Sadhave Namah, Om Jagatpantaya Namah, Om Sarvalokahitaya Namah, Om Bhakta Priyaya Namah, Om Surdaya Namah, Om Anukulaya Namah, Om Neyaya Namah, Om Sudarshanaya Namah, Om Bhaktavasalaya Namah, Om Premamurtaye Namah, Om Sudakshanaya Namah, Om Pritivardhanaya Namah, Om Swastidayakaya Namah, Om Tarakaya Namah, Om Anugrahaya Namah, Om Vardhanaya Namah, Om Architaya Namah, Om Arthaya Namah, Om Siddhipradaya Namah, Om Janardhanaya Namah, Om Manoharaya Namah, Om Mahakshaya Namah, Om Siddheshwaraya Namah, Om Bhasmabhushitaya Namah, Om Atmalingaya Namah, Om Lingachana Pratsakaya Namah, Om Siddhisadanaya Namah, Om Madhavaya Namah, Om Omkarapasakaya Namah, Om Sukshmaya Namah, Om Vishokaya Namah, Om Satvikaya Namah, Om Samadarshine Namah, Om Dakshaya Namah, Om Achintyaya Namah, Om Niramkaraya Namah, Om Nirmohaya Namah, Om Avyagraya Namah, Om Jitakrodaya Namah, Om Vinayashidaya Namah, Om Svavashaya Namah, Om Kushalaya Namah, Om Shamaya Namah, Om Satyadharmaya Namah, Om Nirvikalpaya Namah, Om Viraktaya Namah, Om Atindraya Namah, Om Satyasandhaya Namah, Om Pavitraya Namah, Om Madhurasvabhavaya Namah, Om Suranandaya Namah, Om Nandanaya Namah, Om Prasnatmane Namah, Om Bhaktanidaye Namah, Om Sakshaye Namah, Om Samatmaye Namah, Om Sadayogine Namah, Om Haraye Namah, Om Sutapaya Namah, Om Samyaya Namah, Om Guyaya Namah, Om Vimuktatmaya Namah, Om Gabhiraya Namah, Om Guptaya Namah, Om Atmaramaya Namah, Om Srinivasaya Namah, Om Devaya Namah, Om Yutidharaya Namah, Om Danyaya Namah, Om Gurave Namah, Om Duratikramaya Namah, Om Gahanaya Namah, Om Bhagavate Namah, Om Harisharna Margadarshakaya Namah, Om Kutastha Jagartakaya Namah, Om Abhiprayaya Namah, Om Sarvamata Samatyaya Namah, Om Shamaikata Bhavarnakaya Namah, Om Premavatar Sri Vishwananda Swami Namah. Ato Deva Avantuno Yato Vishnur Vichakrame Pridivya Sapta Dhamami Idam Vishnur Vichakrame Tredanyade Padam Samudamasya Pagum Sure Trini Pada Vichakrame Vishnur Gopa Adadya Ato Dharmani Dharine Vishnu Karmani Pashyata Yato Vritani Paspashe Indrasya Yujasaka Tad Vishnu Paramam Padagum Sada Pashyanti Suraya Dive Vachakshuratatam Tad Vipraso Vipanyavo Jagruvagum Sasamindate Vishnu Yat Paramam Padam विद्महे सद्गुरुदेवाय धीमहि तन्नो विश्वानन्द प्रचोदयात्। प्रेमवतराय विद्महे सद्गुरुदेवाय धीमहि तन्नो विश्वानन्द प्रचोदयात्। प्रेमवतराय विद्महे सद्गुरुदेवाय धीमहि तन्नो विश्वानन्द प्रचोदयात्। वक्रतुण्डमहाकाय सूर्यकोटिसमप्रभा निर्विघ्नं कुरु मे देव सर्वकार्येषु सर्वदा सर्वकार्येषु सर्वदा। भूर्भुवस्सुः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो न प्रचोदयात्। भूर्भुवस्सुः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो न प्रचोदयात्। भूर्भुवस्सुः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो न प्रचोदयात्। कृष्ण विष्णु मधुसूदन केदारे नारायण अच्युत त्रिविक्रम चक्रपाणे दैत्यद्विसर्जधर श्रीधर वासुदेव गोपाल कृष्ण हरये तव सुप्रभातम्। श्री रुक्मिणीश भवनाश हरे मुरारे राधेश गोपेश स्वरूप ब्रह्मादिवन्द्य श्री द्वारकाश्रय वैकुण्ठपते भुवनेकमूर्ते गोपाल देव हरये तव सुप्रभातम्। मीनाकृते कमतरूप वराहमूर्ते त्रैविक्रमाय गुहने गुरु राम राम श्रीराम कृष्ण यदुनन्दन कल्किरूप गोपाल कृष्ण हरये तव सुप्रभातम्। गोविन्द माधव मुकुन्द भरत्परेश दामोदराक्षधर नन्दकधारिशोरि गोप गोपीजन संवृत दीनबन्धो गोपीजना प्रिय हरे तव सुप्रभातम्। क्षीराब्धिशायि भुजगाधिपतल्पशायि सद्भक्तहृत्सदनशायि रमङ्गशायि श्रीगोपभाम मृदुतल्पसुखादिशायि गोपवल्लभ हरे तव सुप्रभातम्। श्रीकाश्यपात्रिसुत नारद गौतमादि ब्राह्मर्षि सङ्गमनि सङ्गम भारतेषु तिष्ठन्ति देव तव दर्शन भाग्यायितो गोपालशेखर हरे तव सुप्रभातम्। मन्दारजारि तुलसीदल मालिकार्ये माल्यानि अञ्जलिपुते समुदाहरन्ति तिष्ठन्ति त्वत्पवतधारतले मुनीन्द्रः राधा मनोहर हरे तव सुप्रभातम्। वेदत्रयं पतति गौतमकानगूय गायन्ति सद्गुणगणो वरदा सवर्गः सङ्कीर्तयन्ति तव नाम कथा विशेषा श्रीनारदादिऋषया तव सुप्रभातम्। गोवर्धनोदरन गोपकिशोर गोप गोपीजनामृत सुवेश कवाद्रिपोत त्रिलोक्यमोहन सुमङ्गल दिव्य देवा श्रीरुक्मिणीश वरदा तव सुप्रभातम्। श्रीवत्स क्षीण शरणागत पारिजातम् भक्तिभञ्जन कृपाकर दीनबन्धो गीत्यन्तगायति जनप्रिय दिव्यरूपा श्रीनन्द गोपतनया तव सुप्रभातम् पद्मक्ष पद्ममुख पद्मधर प्रमेय पद्मालयस्रद पद्मनिवास शौरी पद्मोपभाति सुरसेवित पादपद्मा पद्माधिनाथ हरये तव सुप्रभातम् वृन्दातले विहरणाय महेन्द्रवर्य कन्दर्पदर्पहरतीन सुदेशरूपा चन्द्राननाय सिद्धचन्दनलिप्नदेहा गोविन्द यादव हरेय तव सुप्रभातम् श्रीनन्दनन्दन यशोदकुमार धीरा मायङ्गदीनदभिशोन सुपुष्पहार नीलाम्बुदासु शरीर रमाविहार गोपालदेव हरये तव सुप्रभातम् श्रीबाष्यजान्भवति सत्यसुगन्धि पात्र श्रीमित्रविन्ददिवस प्रभुपुत्रिकार्यये तिष्ठन्ति दिव्यभवमे तव सेवनार्थम् गोपीमनप्रियारे तव सुप्रभातम् श्रीकृष्ण अच्युतानन्द मुकुन्द शौरी राधा मनोरज नर्दन चक्रपाणि नामानि दिव्यमुनयोर्न विशं ब्राह्मी मुहूर्त समये तव सुप्रभातम् श्री कृष्ण सुप्रभातम् ये पठन्ति अनिशं भूरि कृतं महापापं श्री कृष्णार्ग्रहेतुकम् ईश्वर परमा कृष्ण सच्चिदानन्द विग्रह अनादिरादिर्गोविन्द सर्वकरण गोविन्दमादि पुरुष तमहं भजामि चिन्तामणि प्रकर सद्मसुकल्पवृक्ष लाक्षावृतेषु सुरभिरभिपालयन्तम् लक्ष्मी सहस्रशतसम्भ्रमसेव्यमानं गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं तमहं भजामि वेणुं कवन्तमरविन्ददराय तर्च भारावतं समसितं पुरसुन्दरङ्गं कन्दर्पकोटिकमनीयविशेषशोभं गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं तमहं भजामि आलोलचान्द्रकलसद्वनमाल्यवंशी रत्नगदां प्रणयकेलिकलाविलासं श्यामं त्रिभङ्गललितं नियता प्रकाशं गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं तमहं भजामि अङ्गानि यस्य सकलेन्द्रियवृत्तिमन्ति पश्यन्ति पान्ति कलयन्ति चिरं जगन्ति आनन्दचिन्मय सरुज्ज्वल विग्रहस्य गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं तमहं भजामि अद्वैतमच्युतमनादिमनन्तरूपम् आद्यं पुराणपुरुषं नवयौवनं च वेदेषु दुर्लभमदुर्लभमात्मभक्तो गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं तमहं भजामि पञ्चसु कोटिशतवत्सरसम्प्रगाम्यो वायोरथापि मनसो मुनिपुङ्गवनं सोऽप्यस्ति अप्रपदसिन्यविचिन्त्य तत्ते गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं तमहं भजामि Ekopya Sura Jayatum Jagadandakoti Shaktirasti Jagadanda Jayayadanta Anantarasta Paramanu Jayantarasta Govindamani Purusha Tamaham Bhajami Yadbhava Bhavitadiyo Manujasta Seva Samprapya Rupa Mahimasanayana Bhusha Sukteyameva Nigama Pratitestu Vanti Govindamadi Purusha Tamaham Bhajami Ananda Chinmaya Rasa Pratibhavitavi Tavirya Eva Nija Rupataya Kalavi Goloka Eva Nivasatya Kilatma Bhuto Govindamadi Purusha Tamaham Bhajami Premanjana Churita Bhakti Vilochanena Santa Sadeva Hidayeshu Vilokayanti Yashama Sundarama Chintya Guna Svarupam Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Ramadi Murti Shukalani Amena Tishta Nana Vatara Makarot Bhuvaneshu Kintu Krishna Svayam Samabhavat Paramapumanyo Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Yasya Prabha Prabhavato Jagadanda Koti Kotishva Shesha Vasudhari Vibhuti Vinam Tatra Manishkalamanantam Shesha Buddham Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Maya Yasya Jagadanda Vidani Sute Egunyatad Vichaya Vera Vitaya Mana Sattva Valambi Para Sattva Vishuddha Sattva Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Ananda Chinmaya Rasatmataya Manasu Yapraninam Pratipalam Smaratam Upetya Lila Idena Bhuvanani Jayatya Jasra Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Golokanam Nijadam Nitale Chatasya Devi Mahesha Haridama Suteshu Teshu Vede Prabhavani Chaya Vyakashayena Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Visiti Pralaya Sadhana Shakti Reka Chayeva Yasya Bhuvanani Vibhati Durga Ichano Rupamapi Yasya Chacheshta Tesa Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Shriramyatada Divikara Vishesha Yoga Sanjayate Naidata Pratigasti Eto Yashambhutam Abhitata Samupetikaya Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Dipachireva Ina Shantaramabhyupetya Dipayate Vitahetu Samana Dharma Yastagre Eva Icha Vishnutaya Vivati Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Yakaranana Vajale Bhajati Sma Yoga Niramananta Jagananda Saromakupa Adhar Shakti Mavalambya Param Samurti Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Yasya Kanishvasita Kalamata Varavya Jivanti Loma Binaja Jagadandanada Vishnur Mahamsaya Yasya Kala Vishesho Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Vasvamyatasma Sakaleshu Nijeshu Teja Viyam Tiyat Prakatayatyapitattva Atra Brahmaya Isha Jagaranda Vidana Karta Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Yatpadapallavayugam vinidhaya kumbha Vande pranama samaye saganadiraja Vignam vihantamalamasya jagatrayasya Govindamari purusha Tamaham bhajami Aginahi gaganamambamardishasha Kalastatatma manasati jagatrayani Yasmat bhavanti vibhavanti vichanti yamcha Govindamadi purusha Tamaham bhajami Yakshakshurecha savita sakala grahana Kajasamasa suramurtirashesha teja Yasyajnaya brahmati samrita kala chakro Govindamadi purusha Tamaham bhajami Dharmota papa nichaya sutayastapansi Brahmadikita patagavatayascha jiva Yadatta matra vibhava prakata prabhava Govindamadi purusha Tamaham bhajami Yasvindra gopamata vendra mahosva karma Parmana rupa vanabhajamanattanoti Karmani nidhati kintu na bhakti bhajam Govindamadi purusham Tamaham bhajami Yam krodha kama sahaja pranayadi vidi Yatsalya moha guru gaurava sevya bhavai Sanchitya tasya sadashintanam apurete Govindamadi purusham Tamaham bhajami Ishvara Parama Krishna Sachitananda Vigraha Anadiradir Govinda Sairva Karana Karanam Govindamadi Purusha Tamaham Bhajami.
Good morning. Chanting the Vedic Suktams on page 57.
Srajam Chandram Hiranmayim Lakshmim Jatavedo Mahavaha Tam Mahavaha Jatavedo Lakshmi Manapagamini Yasyam Hiranyam Vindeyam Gamashvam Purushanaham Ashvapurvam Ratamadyam Hastinada Prabodhinim Shriyam Devi Mupakvaye Shriyama Devi Jushatam Kamso Smitam Hiranya Prakaram Artram Jalantim Travitam Tarpayantim Padme Stitam Padmavarnam Tam Yopakvaye Shriyam Chandram Prabhasam Yashasa Jalantim Shriyam Loke Devajustam Udaram Tam Padminimim Sharanamam Prapadye Lakshmir Me Nashyatam Tvam Vrune Aditya Varne Tapaso Dijato Vanaspatistava Vrikshota Bilvaha Tasya Palani Tapasanurantu Mayantaraya Shabhaya Alakshmi Upetu Mam Deva Saka Kirtisya Manina Saha Pradurbutos Mirashresmin Kirtim Ritim Dadatu Me Shutpipasamalam Jyeshtamalakshmim Nashayamyaham Abhutimasamriddhim cha sarvan nirnudame griyat Gandhatvaram durardasham nityapushtam karishinim Ishvarigum sarvabhutanam tamihopagvayeshayam Manasakka mamakutim vachas satyamashīmahi Pashunam rupamannasya mahishi shayatam yashaha Kartamena prajabhuta maisambhava kardama Shriyam vasayame kule mataram padmamalinim Apasrujandu snigdhani chiklitavasame grihe Nisha devi mataram shriyam vasayame kule Ardra pushkarini pushtim suvarnam hema malinim Suryam hiranmayim lakshmim jatavedo mahavaha Ardram yakkarinim yashtim pingala padma malinim Chandram hiranmayim lakshmim jatavedo mahavaha Tam mahavaha jatavedo lakshmim anapagaminim Yasyam hiranyam prabhutam gavo dasyo shvan bindeyam purushanaham Yashuchi prayato bhutva juhuyada jamanvaham Suktam tam chadashaycham jashi kamas sadatam japet Padma priye padmini padmahaste padmalaye padmadalayatakshi Vishva priye vishnamanonukole tanpada padmam mahisannidastva Mahadeve cha vidmahe vishnupadye cha dhimahi Tanno lakshmi prachodayat Om Shanti 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 Bhumir Bhumnadyo Varinantariksham Mahitva Upastete Devati Degnimannada Mannadhyayadade Ayango Prishnirakramidasanan Mataram Punaha Pitaram Chaprayan Suvaha Trigum Shaddama Virajati Vakpatangaya Shishaye Padyasya Vahatyubihi Asya Pranatapalam Yantascharati Rochana Vyakyan Mahishasuvaha Yatva Kruta Parupapamanyuna Yadavartya Sukhalpamagne tattava punastoti payamasi Yatte manyuparoptasya prithivī manudatvase Aditya vishve taddeva vasavascha samaparan Manu jyotirjushatamacham vichinnam yajñagum samimam dadatu Brihaspatistanutamimam no vishve deva yamadayantam Medini devi vasundara syad vasudha devi vasavi Brahma vajja sappitranagum shotram chakshurmanaha Devi hiranyagarbhini devi prasuvari Sadane satyayane sida Samudravati savitri ano devi mayangi Mahodarani mahovyatishta Kranshige shinge yagne vibhishani Indrapadni yapini surasaririha Vayumati jalashayani shayam daraja satyando parimenini Shoparidatam parigaya Vishnupatni Mahi Devi Madhavi Madhava Priya Lakshmi Priyasaki Devi Namamachyata Vallabha Dhanudaraye Vidmahe Sarvasiddhye Dhīmahi Tanno Dhara Prachodayat Om Shanti 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 Nila Devi Gum Sharanamaham Prapadye Granayi Grutavati Savitaralipatye Payasvati Rantirashano Astu Druvadisha Vishnu Patnyagora Sishana Sahasoya Manota Brihaspatir Matarishvota Vayus Sanduvana Vata Abhino Granando Vishtampo Divo Dharana Pratevya Asishana Jagato Vishnu Patni Mahadevecha Vidmahe Vishnu Patni Dhīmahi Tanno Nila Prachodayat Om Shanti 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 Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Hari Om
Om Ajnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Melitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Jai Gurudev, good morning. So the verse that I chose today is from the Srimad Bhagavatam. It is from a Canto 3, Chapter 4. It is from a conversation between Vidur and Maitreya, but he's telling the story, so it's actually a conversation of Uddhava and Krishna. And so we know that there are many beautiful conversations between Vidur and Maitreya, especially Vidur, for me, is one of the most amazing characters, in a sense, in the Bhagavatam, because he always strives for knowledge. And when one strives for knowledge and at the same time is humble, one ultimately seeks those who have more knowledge than myself. And you learn to ask good questions. And good questions come from contemplation, and then able to know what is the right thing to ask and who to ask, so that you get the right answer or a beneficial, good answer. No? So I think Vidur is a great example for all of us, first of all, when it comes to asking good questions, because you have to ask good questions to the right people to get good answers. No? And good answers will bring you forward on the spiritual path. So there's a conversation in which he tells the story of Uddhava. And Uddhava realizes how grateful he has to be, or he can be, for the way Krishna has always treated him. Because Krishna has always treated him with love, with respect, and with friendship. No? He was friend of Krishna. And so I think there's a realization which is very important and which is very day-to-day life, very easy to forget about. I think as much as closeness we have been given to Guruji, as much as we get to see him, it is very easy to forget also. Right? And I would assume, when I would see, that it probably is similar with Uddhava and Arjun and whoever was close to Krishna at the time also. I think it's very relatable or very similar in a sense. Because he has human features and he behaves, I would even say, more humanly than most humans, we very easily forget who he actually is or who we believe him to be. No? And so in this verse, I will take the verse before and after. I chose verse 17 from chapter 4, but I'll take the verse before and after also, just to give some more example and context. So in the verse before, Uddhava says, "My Lord, even the learned sages become disturbed in their intelligence when they see that your greatness engages in fruitive activities, although you are free from all desires, that you take birth, although you are unborn, that you flee out of fear of the enemy and take shelter in a fort, although you are the controller of invincible time, and that you enjoy householder life surrounded by many women, although you enjoy in yourself alone." Right? And so you can see in Krishna's life in itself all these seeming contradictions, no? But as he says in the Gita also, I have nothing to gain by acting in this world, and yet I act because I am an example. And so if I don't act, everybody else will also not act because everybody looks to me for an example. No? And I see this with Guruji also, as the first example that he gives here with action, is that Guruji has nothing to gain from action. He doesn't have anything to gain from being here. As he always says, I don't need anything from you. No? Yet he still acts. I would say he does more than anybody. No? He continuously travels and reads and does this and does that. No? If you have ever been, and I have not been, but if you have ever been with Guruji on holiday, or on one day of holiday, we take holiday today, you know that it lasts not longer than 2 hours and he gets bored. He's like, this is what people do on holiday? This is boring. Let's go to see some churches or some temples or do some painting or some puja or something. No? This is useless. Waste of time. Right? So you can see, I would say in that sense, for sure, he's the most obvious, for me at least, most obvious example of what it means to engage in action at all times. No? And so verse 17, Uddhava says, or he continues, "Mantreshu mam va upaya yatvam akuntitan dha sudhatma bodha prache prabho bhag mukta iva pramatash tano mano moha yati va deva." O my Lord, your eternal self is never divided by the influence of time, and there is no limitation to your perfect knowledge. Thus, you were sufficiently able to consult with yourself, yet you called upon me for consultation, as if bewildered, although you are never bewildered. And this act of yours bewilders me. And so it's a very bewildering verse, very confusing. And so Uddhava is confused about realizing that the Supreme Lord himself is standing in front of him, and yet sometimes he acts in such a convincible way that he is confused and asking for Uddhava's opinion and asking for Uddhava's advice, realizing that he's the Supreme Lord, he should never be bewildered. And this play or this game bewilders him. And I can very much relate with my life, with Guruji. And I've been around Guruji for a few years, and in many ways I've gained a lot more knowledge, and I've gained definitely a lot more experience with every day passing, that we get to be around Guruji and he allows us to be in his presence. And I still don't know more of who he actually is, to be honest. Every time, and I think this is very much about realizing what is your personal relationship with the Guru. No, Guruji's been speaking for 2 weeks straight about the relationship with the Guru, outer relationship with the Guru, the internal relationship with the Guru. No, to realize and establish what that relationship is. No, and I think the relationship that we have with God is so many faceted because God has no limit. No, Tvameva Mata Cha Pita Tvameva. He's the father, he's the mother, he's the Supreme Lord. He's Brahma, he's Vishnu, he's Shiva. He's the Supreme Lord of the universe, the controller of time, and everything that happens in this creation. And as Krishna also says in the Gita, He is the Lord of the universe, and yet I am also the Atma's best friend. And to be honest, for me, actually, this is one of the things that stuck with me. I think everybody has different lessons or key words or key sentences that he said that kind of sticks to you, that means something for you in this moment. The same then with the Gita. But for me, what stuck with me the most in this time was, he's your best friend. And for me, the term friend was always a very important thing. And the one thing that I've learned about friends is that everything I know about friends is fake. Everything. I used to believe in friendship, and then I stopped believing in friendship. Because the moment somebody you consider a friend betrays you, trust is broken. And the moment one friend betrays you, you will realize that probably you can't actually trust anybody. And it's an experience that I've had. And so somehow the term, when Guruji says, the Guru is your best friend, it made me think a lot actually about what is a friend. And so as we can see with Guruji, and the relationship with the Guru, not everybody is close to him. Not everybody can be physically close to him, and yet he is our best friend. And I think that is often a necessity that we often take as somebody being your friend, that you have to be physically close to them. You have to spend a lot of time with them. Otherwise, how can you be close friends? You have to spend a lot of, or at least if you don't live together or see each other a lot, you have to spend a lot of time to speak on the phone or FaceTime or whatever. To have a relationship, you need to spend time, right? And on a physical level, that's not necessarily the case. I know many devotees only get to see Guruji once a year, or even once every 2 years. We are very blessed that we get to see him all the time. Even then, for me at least, I'm thinking, time-wise, I don't know if that's enough to be a friend. Because very often, the only time you see him when he comes down for an event, and then he goes out. And so, obviously, what Guruji speaks about is to build that relationship with God within yourself. What it means to be a friend, for me at least, means that your friend will do anything that improves your situation of life, that supports your situation of life. And so in that sense, the Guru is actually your best friend, because all that he is trying to do, unfiltered in whatever way necessary, and it may sometimes hurt very much, because sometimes the truth is very painful, is that he tries to bring you to a place in which you don't have to come back. He tries to free you of life. Most friends that we call friends in the world, they are either tamasic or rajasic, meaning they will bind you to life. They will try to keep you here. Not consciously, but they try to keep you here, because friendship, I think one of the inevitable results of friendship is that often it creates attachment. In whatever way, it creates attachments and bondage. And attachment and bondage, we know very well, is the result of why we have to come here again and again. And so the Guru actually, in that sense, is the only friend that we have, because he is the one who always reminds us of the things that we need to do to become free of this bondage, to become free of this attachments, right? And so that's something I thought about a lot during the Guru Gita. And the second, in some way related, was to knowledge, because it was not the first time Guruji gave commentary, not even on the Guru Gita. I did Guru Gita before. He gave commentary on various scriptures, on the Bhagavatam, on the Gita, on Chandilya, Narada Bhakti Sutra, etc. And every time I always feel he speaks about the same thing. It's not like he spoke many things that were somehow new or we've never heard before, no? It's always repeating the same thing. Sometimes he uses some different words. Sometimes we are but mostly I would say we are in a different state each time, and so we hear things differently, no? But he always speaks about bhakti. He always speaks about the same thing. The tools have not changed in many years either, no? He's been saying for years we need to do japam, we need to read the Gita, no, etc., etc., do our kriya. We know exactly what to do. His tools and his words have not changed much, no? But what he does as a friend is always remind. And the one thing that he said also a few times is that this knowledge is not only for us. It is to give opportunity for future generations to be freed from the same situation. It's the same thing that with Arjun, when he received this huge grace, this huge blessing from Krishna to listen to the Gita. No? It's not Gita. Imagine putting yourself in the shoes of Arjun, standing in front of Krishna and listening. It is exactly the same when we are sitting in the tent listening to Guruji giving the Guru Gita. Do you think Arjun, in the moment of standing in front of Krishna listening, was thinking, oh my God, this is amazing. Oh my God, he's giving this transcendental knowledge. He's giving me the opportunity to attain the Supreme Lord himself. No, he forgot about the Gita. He asked Krishna after the war, can you repeat it, please? And Krishna said, no. No? Even at the end, Arjuna said, yes, I understand fully what you have told me. Did he actually implement everything Krishna said? No. He was not fully committed in the war itself. No. He fought 95%. He didn't give 100%. That's why Krishna almost threatened to break his own vow 2 times. No? Because Arjuna was hesitant to fight properly. He was fighting only to keep at bay and not to actually kill. No? And because he was hesitant, thousands of his own people had to die because he was not willing to do what was necessary. No? Because he was only giving 95% and not 100. That's another thing Guruji always reminds us, no? That if you want God, you need to want him 100%. 99 is not enough. No? And so Guruji, that's what I was always thinking about during Guru Gita, is that this knowledge that he gives us is exactly the way that he describes in this verse. It is eternal. It is supreme. It is undivided, the knowledge that he gives. And he continues, all that he does is to continuously remind us. Because we are so bewildered. We are so much more likely to accept Krishna's words than Guruji's. Because Krishna is not alive. Krishna's words are written in the Gita and have been reread 1,000 times by millions of people over thousands of years. No? He's not standing in front of us. And so for whatever stupid reason in our mind, I think one of Guruji's favorite words, stupid, from the Guru Gita, for whatever stupid reason for our stupid mind, we believe a book more than a person standing in front of us. I'm sure it was the same with Arjun and Uddhava also. Uddhava was, as we know, very, very learned. And yet I would say, in the majority of the time, he probably didn't realize that the scriptures that he read were literally standing in front of him. No? And that is exactly the verse that he speaks about here. I'm bewildered by the way that you act and are. Because you are so human. You ask me for my opinion. Who am I to give your opinion? I've had this many times. Guruji asks, what do you think I should do? And I was like, what do you think we should do? And I was like, you're God. You tell me. No? But he acts, I find, in the way that is so beautiful to watch. Because the way that Guruji teaches is not only through knowledge. It is, I think the knowledge that he gives, the commentaries that he gives, is at most 2% of what he does. Because there might be 2 weeks of your whole life that you get to listen to a commentary. No? It might be 5% of your life that you get to listen to satsangs from Guruji. No? Even if you listen every day, it's not that much compared to 80 years of life. No? The majority of the time that he spends in teaching is through experience. No? That is also knowledge. But it is a different way of learning. Because by experience, you learn much better than reading or listening. No? Because you actually start to believe in it. No? Once you have a close to death experience, you believe it much more than if somebody tells you about it. And if somebody tells you about it, you believe it more than if you read it in a book. No? If a friend experienced it, no? You feel it more. The closer that it becomes to your own self, to your own reality, the more believable it becomes to you. And the same thing is that Guruji is trying to give us as an experience of God. Because just to hear about God or read about God is not that impressive. No? Everybody heard about God at some point in their life. If somebody who's close to you, who has an experience of God or a feeling of God and is super engrossed, engaged, and in love with God, that has a much greater effect on you. That is our duty as devotees, not to give to people outside. But if somebody is actually able to give us an experience of God firsthand, that is a very different story. And that is exactly what Guruji is trying to give you. No? And that's, I think, the even more precious thing that we get to experience with him. No? And just to finish, to give one example, I think everybody has hundreds of examples of their own life, whether it's physically with Guruji or whether it's dreams or experiences or whatever it may be, of the realization how he's always there and how he's teaching through the subtle ways in life, I would say. So, as we just finished Krishna Janmashtami, which is always for me one of the most important events of the year, because Krishna obviously is my soulmate, you could say. And I think if it's your Ishtadev, somehow I think Guruji always gives a little extra prasad for me at least, I've seen over the years. Sometimes sweet, sometimes spicy, and sometimes sweet and spicy. Krishna is very naughty, and sometimes he likes to be very cute. Sometimes he likes to be not cute. So I remember many years ago, there was a Janmashtami, and we were still in the old temple, so we did the Janmashtami down in the tent, right? We only do the Krishna Janmashtamis here in the temple since we have this temple, so 2018. So it was before that. And so it was a lot more work, in a sense, to prepare everything, make everything nice in the tent. And it was specifically more work to prepare the pujas. Because puja kitchen was in a light hall, like over there, the tent is down here. Even now it's nice and close, right? So I do walk a lot more up and down. And so Janmashtami came, and everything was going fine until Guruji came. It's always like this, no? So Guruji comes, and he's like, he asked for one specific jewelry, like a necklace and a crown. And he asked in a nice way, and I have no idea what he means. Like I know the jewelry better than my own pocket. I know every single jewelry that we have inside out. And I was like, okay, he says this jewelry, so I'm like going through my inventory in my mind, and like I have no idea what he means. So I asked one question, I'm like, just to understand it better what he might mean. And again, I was like, no clue. I've never seen this jewelry in my life. And I know exactly that I've never seen this jewelry in my life. It's not in the puja kitchen. But I can't tell him. Like I said, I'm not sure which one you mean, but I will get and see, right? So I run up, I get something, I come down, and he gets really upset. It's like, no, this is not what it is. And he literally makes me run up and down 20 times. 20. I'm not joking, 20 times. Tent, puja kitchen, tent, light hall, tent, light hall, tent, light hall. 20 times. He keeps telling me, go get it. What, you lost it again? You lose everything I give you, don't you? You don't appreciate anything. So he keeps getting worse every time. He's just insulting me the whole time. Right? And I keep running up, running down, running up, running down, running down. Running up, I already know that I'm not going to find it. And I just take something and I just bring it down, knowing that it's not the right thing. And I'm knowing that he's going to be more upset again. But I'm like, what can I do? He keeps telling me, go and get it. I'm like, okay, like, I have to get something then, because I know I'm not going to get that one. So after like 20 times, I come down like, so Guruji is like shouting at me, and Swami Pepe comes into the tent. You know how sometimes he just walks in like somebody who doesn't belong in the space. Let's put it this way. So he walks in the tent. Guruji is shouting me. Guruji sees him coming in, and he turns to him. He's like, look at this idiot. He lost his super expensive jewelry at Vrindavan. Blah, blah, and he tells this jewelry, and Pepe is like, oh, it's lying upstairs in the bungalow. And Guruji is like, oh yeah, it's true. It's true. Go get it. Go get it. And I'm like, I'm there standing. I'm like, he knows it's in the bungalow. Why did he make me run up and down 20 times and insult me 20 times? No? And it made me, I was thinking about his experience a lot later. Because I was thinking, like, he's not stupid. He knows it's in a bungalow. And he knows that he didn't give it. And obviously he didn't forget about it. No? But what do I learn from this experience? There's so many things that I've learned from this experience, no? That I don't want to go into because a lot of details, no? But usually what I've learned is that when Guruji says something, we have to always separate for what he says. Because often, about 90%, no, 10% of what he says is factual, is what we need to do, and we have to learn from it. 90% of what he does is button pressing to see how do I react. Do I look to protect my own ego, to protect my pride, to pretend that I know better than my guru? No? Like, I told this story many times, but I like it so much, the story of the guru and the disciple walking through the forest, and the guru pointing at different trees and animals and whatever, saying, oh, this is this color. And the disciple says, no, Guruji, the deer is not pink, the deer is brown. No? And he just shrugs his shoulder and keeps walking. No? And like Guruji said, the point is not to correct the guru. The point is to listen to what the guru says and understand yourself. The guru doesn't do or say anything for his own benefit, to be right or wrong. It's not about being right or wrong. It's about who am I and how do I diminish my ego. That is what the guru's role and his job is, predominantly, is to destroy your ego, your pride, and to challenge your mind so that you can look beyond the border of the little cup that you're stuck in, you know? So that you can empty your cup so that it can be filled with his grace. You know? It's not about being right. It's never about being right or wrong. It's about becoming empty of your own pride and ego so that you can actually be filled with the divine chai. You know? If you have your own coffee, you cannot put chai in it. No? You have to be filled with the divine nectar, and so you have to be emptied and cleaned up first. So what I've learned, one of the greatest lessons for me that I've learned, is that it's never about being right or wrong. It's about analyzing yourself, questioning and finding out what are my motivations and the reason for my actions, you know? And to try my best every single day to improve. The only improvement that I can make is to focus more on God, no? And it doesn't matter how long you're on the spiritual path, it doesn't matter how long you're devotee, it doesn't matter how long you're brahmachari or whatever you path you're on. Whether you're 1 year or 20 years, it's irrelevant. If you don't make the choice every single day, it is useless how long you are here, no? That's the reassuring thing and the depressing thing at the same time. no? Because there is no shortcuts to this. There is nothing you can say, I've been doing my Kriya for 10 years straight, I will take a holiday, or it's enough now. It is never enough. At the same time, if you didn't do great yesterday, you can always do it better today. And it will not matter what you did yesterday, no? And I think that's the important choice that we have, no? That we often think that the small choices don't matter that much. Actually, the small choices matter the most. I think that Guruji shows us again and again that every action that we make or every non-action that we do has a consequence. And every small action that we take every single day, it creates habits. And habits create the person that we are. And so it's so important to be wary of the small actions that we make, because the outcome that it creates is the level of focus that we have on Him. And that's what ultimately matters the most. Jai Gurudev.
Narasimhamadim Sharanam Prapadye Narasimhamadim Sharanam Prapadye Avakara Kamalavare Aka Makuta Shina Dalita Niranya Kakshipo Tanubrita Keshapadrita Narahari प्रतिष्ठिताय मंगल मंगल में शालिग्राम प्रतिष्ठिताय मंगल मंगल में त्रिदंडधारिणे बुद्धगजाय मंगल मंगल में त्रिदंडधारिणे बुद्धगजाय मंगल मंगल में रामानुज रामानुज मंगल मंगल में यतिराज सके गया रथाया मंगल मंगल में रंगे सके गया रथाया मंगल मंगल में मन रथाया धारी निधाराय मंगल मंगल में मन रथाया धारी निधाराय मंगल मंगल में रामानुज रामानुज मंगल मंगल में यतिराज यतिराज रामानुज मंगल 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 ओम जय लक्ष्मी माता जय जय लक्ष्मी माता
sampati data, Neya sukha sampati data, Jo koi tumako javana, Jo koi tumako javana, Niti siddhi dhana pata, Om Jai Lakshmi Mata, Tuma patara nivasini, Tuma hi shubhadata, Neya Tuma hi shubhadata, Karma prabhava prakashini, Karma prabhava prakashini, Avanidhi prata, Om Jai Lakshmi Mata, Jisagaramem tumarat, Sabasar gunata, Neya sabasar gunata, Sabasam bhava ojata, Sabasam bhava ojata, Manana indavarata, Om Jai Lakshmi Mata, Tuma vinaya jnana hote, Vastra na koi pata, Neya vastra na koi pata, Kana panka vaibhava, Kana panka vaibhava, Sabatuma seyata, Om Jai Lakshmi Mata, Shubha Guna Mandira Sundar, Shiro Radhijata, Neya Shiro Radhijata, Radha Chadura Chatumavin, Radha Chadura Chatumavin, Govinai Pada, Om Jai Lakshmi Mata, Mahalakshmi Ki Arati, Jo koi Jana Gata, Neya Jo koi Jana Gata, Purananda Samata, Purananda Samata, Baba Uttara Jata, Om Jai Lakshmi Mata, Om Jai Lakshmi Mata, Jaya Jaya Lakshmi Mata, Tumma kodi charina sevana, Tumma kodi charina sevana, Arati Shuvidata, Om Jaya Lakshmi Mata, Om Jaya Lakshmi Mata, Jaya Jaya Lakshmi Mata, Tumma kodi charina sevana, Tumma kodi charina sevana, Arati Shuvidata, Om Jaya Lakshmi Mata, Om Jaya Lakshmi Mata, Jaya Jaya Lakshmi Mata, Tumma kodi charina sevana, Tumma kodi charina sevana, Arati Shuvidata, Om Jaya Lakshmi Mata. Tvameva mata cha pita tvameva, Tvameva bandhu cha sakha tvameva, Tvameva vidya dravina tvameva, Tvameva sarvam mama deva deva, Tvameva sarvam mama deva deva. Govinda Asatoma Satgamaya, Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya, Mrityorma Mritangamaya. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti, Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu, Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu, Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti, Shri Gurubhyo Namaha, Hari Om. Prem se bolo Shri Lakshmi Narayana Bhagavan ki Jai, Sri Bhutabhrteshwarnath Mandir Bhagavan ki Jai, Radha Krishna Kanhaiya Lal ki Jai, Mahavatar Kriya Babaji ki Jai, Sri Ramanujacharya ki Jai. Prem se bolo Satgurudeva Sri Swami Vishwananda Mahaprabhu ki Jai. Om Krishnaya Govindaya Gopijana Paraya Paramapurushaya Parakarma Mantrayanta Tantra Oshadasa Sastrani Samara Samara Mitror Mochaya Mochaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Masudarshanaya Rite Jalapritaya Savanik Shobana Umpat तस्मै परब्रह्मणे परमज्योतिषे स्वाहा। ओम शांति शांति शांति। श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। हरि ओम। जय जय श्री राधे, जय जय श्री राधे, जय जय श्री राधे। श्यामिकतरमणा गोविंदा, गोपिकज्वनस्मरणं गोविंदा, भक्तवत्सला गोविंदा। पुंडलीकवरदे एकनाथ नामदेव, भद्रनाथ महाराज की, भक्त मांडली की, आलवारी परमनाथ गिरवारी कराए शरण।